What's going on? Who's your daddy? These markets are crazy. I'm back at it. Still a little bit cold. Got a little bit of a cold, but we're in here. 28 people. Let's wait a second. Get some more people in here. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Todd Campbell? Gonna rent you for that one. Glad to have you in here. Trying to go live at different times, especially with this thing rocking and rolling here. So 77.64. Rock and roll. What's up, Edgar? Tom? The Dead Rabbits? Got some names we haven't seen in here. That's cool. Got Ethereum up here 202. Litecoin back to 92.50. Johnny said EOS is coming alive. Let's go to that one as well. We got EOS 564 up 30. Cool. What's good, Matty B? Brandon? What's up, Vapor? Thanks, Danny Van Danny. I'm trying. I've been on fire, definitely. When you get in sync with the Wyckoff and the Elliott wave, I mean, that shit does work. I mean, I've had years where kill it, and then you get synced out and you fight it. So just got to try to keep risk in check. And I don't know when these alts. I don't know if alts are going to rock and roll when Bitcoin finally pulls back, or whether they're all going to fall in unison. So trying to watch things, get a feel for that, but not easy. What's up, Josh, man? Amsterdam, cool. 59 watching. Again, we're going to give a little bit more time here before we jump in. Stock market's getting slapped hard today. Down 612. We'll go over that. I'm long TLT, which is up nicely right now. And long some gold and silver, which is up nicely. Got a few stocks coming down we're going to be interested in here when the sell-off runs its course. Shopify down almost $11. That's one I'm going to like here. Ulta, I'm going to like at some point. Agco, I'm long. It's coming under some pressure, but I'm still going to like that one. Caterpillar looks like shit. I've called that one. That was a sign of weakness. Appreciate the Discord love. Nick and I are in there a lot. I mean, I try to get in there as much as I can. Anybody wants to, the Discord's $30 a month. I mean, you get total really access to Nick and I and the charts, thoughts. I give away a lot on Twitter right now, trying to build up the Discord and just build up the whole Wyckoff community. At some point, I might not show as much on Twitter, but I'm giving away quite a bit of free there. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look at Ethereum here at 201. I gave a buy on that. What, at 172 and then 182, I guess it was, just here in the last few days. So yeah, we'll look at Bitcoin. I'm not sure. What's up, Deborah? Haven't seen you in here a while. Cool. There's no discount on the Discord. It's $30 a month. I don't think we're discounting that. I am discounting courses. So if you want the cryptocurrency and Wyckoff course at learncrypto.io, hit me up. If you want the $1,000 course at wyckoffsmi.com, hit me up. Carrie's in here. What's going on? Borgel, I'm not too bad. Still sick, but hopefully I can make it through this. Just keeping too long hours, you name it. I mean, obviously wave 3 here. We got 110 in here, so let's get going. let's go and look at the 4-hour, which is normally what I bring up. If this wave 4 ended down here at 3120, then we're headed to new highs above the 20,000. So that's still what we're looking on. We had this 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, which we called here before we exploded. I had said after we exploded we'd never see 4,000 again. Now we're just working to the upside. Again, I do Wyckoff SMI because I own the Institute. I throw Elliott Wave on top of it to try to estimate levels of where we could go, where we're at. So I do believe in Elliott Wave. Interesting, Steve. BAT's made an announcement. There's a link. BAT sets July test date for Bitcoin futures. Appreciate that, Steve. Moving forward with his plan to launch. Whoa. Carrie, you might want to post that on our blog right now. We'll put that up on learncrypto.io under the blog. Look into that a little bit more. There's more good news like we've expected. So back to where we're at now. Let's go back to like a 1 hour so we can see this. I called yesterday's decline down to 6,900. Was maybe this 4 ending or maybe the full ABC 4 ending. It didn't matter. It came down to support perfectly. Let's look at that on Elliott Wave, why I called that. It's pretty simple. That correction was definitely, really it was ABC down, ABC up, and then you're looking for 5 waves down to new lows. So you had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It came down to previous 4th wave support. So I'm leaning that this was a 4th wave. This was a 5th. Now we've done the big 4. Either way, we're probably, these are still probably 1, 2, 1, 2s. So we just hit a 79.50 on Coinbase, then fell 300. Big volume coming in here. I mean, be careful here, guys. This could be an ABC down. This could be an ABC up, and we still could get slapped really hard here. Again, that's not my preferred count. I still think we're continuing to work higher. That could have been the wave 1, which I have had marked, which means I don't know how this 5 wave is going to subdivide. I kind of put an idea that it might overlap a little bit because we've had such a hell of a move off the lows. So that was, again, just my guess. This don't count well as 5 waves, so maybe we're still going to try to work a hair higher in this one. Let's just see something maybe like this, but I don't want, again, I think doing all that serves no purpose. I mean, I know some of our Discord people got really long down here at 69.20 or so when I gave the last buy. So, and I said earlier when we was around 7,300, I wouldn't want to see 7,100 again. Then I raised it to 7,200. I mean, really for now, I don't think you want to see 7,400 on the downside. Or trade a little bit here, take some profits. I mean, it's really whatever you, what's up, James Brown? Stephen Dela Cruz. It's just how you personally want to trade. I mean, again, that was the Elliott Wave buy. I have that marked because I did not have a buy from our software. Anybody new here? The buys here on the chart are coming from our proprietary software. This was an Elliott Wave triangle buy. Software didn't give it. Software gave a buy up here at 52.50. We discussed here on YouTube how bullish we was at 6,000. Software was right right there on it. And again, this was an Elliott wave buy based on the ABC fourth wave pullback, which looked like just a low risk entry. So all's good there. Ethereum, well, I just did another, we just did a 202 and change. We're 199. Again, I gave a buy down here at 172 because I like the way we rallied impulsively. I thought this was a good impulse with an ABC pullback. So we did some buying at 171. I mentioned again at, what was it, like 187, that maybe this ABC was completed. So again, I don't think we need to see 193 again. So maybe I've tweeted to raise stops up consistently, but I probably would use a 193 stop right now. Hopefully sell a burst of new highs. What's up, Elizabeth? Thanks, Vincent. What up, Tree Man Clifford? So, again, I don't know. I don't like the way, like, Litecoin's 91. I mean, we were 98 weeks ago, so I wish it would ignite again. I'm really thinking Bitcoin's just going to keep working higher, and then the alts, I think they're going to top out with Bitcoin personally, and they're going to pull back with them. So, but that's above my pay grade. I don't really know for sure. The cryptos is new to me. We've been in it for 2 solid years hard, but I'm not sure. Let's look at the software now. Reason I was bullish yesterday at the 6900s, you can see the volume came down sharply, which meant, again, somebody is selling heavily here, but price is going higher, so the smart money was buying. At some point, you start to get concerned that prices continue to work higher while volume doesn't. Let's save that chart. But for now, we just have continued selling coming in while price holds, so that's bullish. And then we almost get an oversold technometer, which is really the buy signals that we're looking for. If we go to Bitcoin USD, you can see there we're at 51 on the technometer. Now that is overbought. Let's let this load here. So Bitcoin USD is a 51 overbought, so I think, again, we're working on a 5-wave higher. It's more overbought because you can see volume here is following it higher. We did have the divergences on the blue line that I mentioned, and really didn't have a divergence here. So with volume leading it higher or going with it, then that's why the technometer is at 51. So again, risk starts to get extremely higher up here with the technometer like that. Sorry about the dogs, but I didn't have time to put them away. So Bitcoin USDT, this is where we had the buy signal because you can see OP almost goes to new lows below the 5200. Or it did actually on an intraday chart go below there. So that just shows, again, big selling going on, but price is not coming down. So that still looks like that there's somebody supporting price. So I don't know whether it's, but usually it's insiders. So it's people knowing that BAT's coming, Fidelity's bringing big money, etc. So, but the technometer here is at 43.57, which is neutral. So a ton of upside still available in Bitcoin USDT. So no real issue there. So again, that's kept me bullish here. Let's go back to Bitcoin with the shorts. So back to the 4-hour. You can see down here, I'm going to get rid of these now because now they're causing too much overlap issue. You can see that the red line here is shorts. I mean, they're coming off, but they only came off about 40% or so. Shorts are still getting their ass handed to them. Longs are coming off the lows, but still, again, probably only 0.38 off the lows. We could get clear up to here on the gold before it get too worrisome, and the red could come clear down to the lows before it would get worrisome. The net of that is the blue gold line, so we're really right back in the middle of the range. Again, once up here in the blue, we get up there, we got to be a little bit more worried, but I would think that means we're up there at Bitcoin 8,000, 8,200 or something, where we got to start being worried. I'll look at XLM. So again, it looks higher. So there's Ethereum USD. So price and volume kind of moving in lockstep. No problem there. Let's go to USDT. Anybody new? This is the proprietary software showing 5-minute price and volume. Yeah, XLM's been extremely disappointing. There's USDT. Had the buy signal down here at the 162 level. That's why I was a buyer here, because you can see volume went to new lows. I showed this on Twitter and Discord. So volume came to new lows here. Why price had made an impulse move here. This looked corrective to me. So if volume goes to new lows, price holds. That means somebody strong buying. So you want to buy the dip, put a stop at the low. So that's what we did here. That was that 172 buy with a 159 stop. And then I kind of did the same thing over here. I like the way this impulse was, and I like the pullback. Software's not available. We've been working on it for year and 5 months. So we still have some issues bringing in volume from 100 exchanges. So still working on it. I mean, you can see it's working here, but it's not working well enough for subscribers. Hunter, I mean, at 7,800, I'm still leaning off all the previous buys, so I wouldn't tell somebody to walk in here and be a buyer now. We've had all these buys on the way up, so I think we're going to keep still probably subdividing higher. But as I said, I mean, these things can take, the most bearish count would be this is an ABC down, this is an ABC up, which means you could have a pullback clear to like 6,400, which would scare the shit out of everybody. So that's why I think you got to be careful. It's all about risk reward, try to trail the stop, etc. But I still think with the shorts, the way their shorts are lined up, the way our software is lined up, that this was a major low here again for a wave forward, and we're going to keep subdividing higher. So far those things have kept me on the right side of these markets. Again, the only thing I don't like is I wish Ethereum, Litecoin, Neo, and some of these Ripple would join Bitcoin on the upside. That's the only thing that's got me worried more than anything. Let's look at a few more. BAT. I mentioned in the Discord, I mean, it looks like it's tired after the big run it had. Kind of had a 50% retracement quickly and now setting. So again, I don't know what these things are going to do. I don't want to talk you out of some of these positions. I don't know how they're going to act when Bitcoin turns down. I'll watch some of the charts, see if I can give better advice. BNB, same type of thing. A little stronger, but Decred, I talked about it would probably rate extend higher, so it's trying, but again, overlapping quite a bit. EOS, same type of thing, I think probably needs traded. Maybe more sideways. But again, guys, I'm so bullish on the space in general. The average stock investor is not here. They're coming. And if they've, and when they see prices like this working higher and Bitcoin the number one performing again for the year, stock market down 600, I mean, I don't think you want to get too cute. So same thing, 5 ways up on EOS, so it's done, but shoot, that could have been a 1, this could have been a 2, and we're ready to explode higher. So don't forget the bigger picture. So I don't think you want to get left out. There's ICX, still a little bit slow. KMD, same type of thing, still a little slow here. Thought it was going to get above that 130, and it just keeps kind of failing. 390 watching. Appreciate it. Anybody new here, I own WyckoffSMI.com, which is the original institute started by Mr. Wyckoff in 1931. We got a course at learncrypto.io that's $299. I would give a discount if anybody's interested. XLM still sitting at that 10 cents. As everybody just said, extremely disappointing. Nothing else to say. Wyckoff, normally you buy strength, so I can't be too interested in XLM here. What's up, Claudia Favor? Thanks for the subscribe. Follow my Twitter, Wyckoff on Crypto. B-Chain, somebody asked about that. I mean, that chart by itself looks good. Had a nice jump across the creek and pull back, so I would think, I know I mentioned this yesterday, any chart like this, I'd still be long to try to give it the chance that maybe these alts do come alive when Bitcoin slows. So anything that looks like that, I think you got to be on. There's BCH 391. I had mentioned over here really mentioned down here at the 260 level, the 290 level, that I thought this one would continue to work higher. I don't really trade much BCH myself, but this strength and ABC pullback was undeniable. So that one should follow Bitcoin higher, which it's doing. That's a no-brainer. Again on Ethereum. This was a bearish count I threw on yesterday just to discuss. I'm not trading it that way because this would not be very friendly. That would be a pullback to 130. I'm just having troubles counting this with the Elliott wave, but again, the buys we've had is off Wyckoff, and this was an Elliott wave, so now we got a few stops maybe on it, so Ethereum could surprise us still to the upside. There's Bitcoin 77.90, so here's Litecoin. We've had huge buys in it all the way up. For anybody new, we caught that from a 22 low. We've had no sells up here at 87. We talked about volatility coming in sideways, so you could take some off if you wanted, but we haven't. I don't know what that Binance restart does, Outlaw. I don't think we're doing a show tonight with Nick. Nick's doing a bunch of tests today. He said he'd probably be burnt out, so I don't think we're doing 6:30. I'm sure we will tomorrow. Dow's down because of the China problems with tariffs. LearnCrypto.io. Wyckoff course of $299. That's a pretty big course. I'd say it's worth about $750. Take that course and you'll be able to ask me questions and I'll walk you through it. If you trade a lot of stocks, want to spend more money, there's a $1,000 course, Unleashed course at WyckoffSMI.com. And again, our Patreon, $30 a month if you want to kind of get a little bit better access to Nick and I. Nick does a lot of small caps in there trading, and a lot of mining, etc. A lot of fundamentals. I mean, so Litecoin, same type of thing. I don't know whether this was an ABC down, now we're doing an ABC up. So maybe we're going to be stuck in a trading range for a few months. Again, just not sure of that. Do not want to see 83 again for real. Really don't want to see 87. So, you know, the Litecoin long shorts. You know, the shorts were so high back here, I kept talking about it. That would give us the explosion higher, which it did. Shorts have came off dramatically. So that's one of the problems with the Litecoin chart is shorts. Let's go to the 4-hour. Shorts are coming back down to normal lows before. So we don't have the shorts to scare and chase it higher. So that's a slight problem. There's back to the Bitcoin long shorts. So, yeah, Nick does a shitload of fundamentals on the Discord and also on the YouTube channel. So he knows his stuff. That's why I brought him in. So he definitely brings value there, especially on a lot of the smaller caps. If you want to talk of smaller caps and positions in there, Nick's definitely the one. That'd be worth the cost of Discord by itself. There's Bitcoin 7806. Ethereum 202.60. Ripple 0.325, still can't get its head out of its ass. What's up, Magic Internet Money? Till 2 years, your chart always showing rally today, tomorrow. Or no, next week finally you catch it. I don't know what he means by that. Don't know what you mean by that, Kaner. XRP, I haven't said much. I mean, what I've been saying on Twitter and here really hasn't changed. We had a spring and a test. I thought we'd get going. Kind of got a downtrend line here. I mean, I thought maybe Ripple would surprise you one day when you're not looking, but it sure hasn't done it. All right, Kaner, I don't understand, so explain it or shut up, basically. I don't have time for bullshit. So if Ripple, I think, would get above the 33 I mentioned yesterday, 34, then I think it would head higher. So, and I've showed the software on it, and it looked like, again, major selling while price was holding. So it wouldn't surprise me if it could take off, but obviously these things are just not doing it with Bitcoin being so strong. So I don't know what Kaner meant by that. Till 2 years, your chart always showing rally today, tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would answer that if he would explain. Or no, next week, finally you catch it. I guess he meant on the Bitcoin chart for, if anybody been in here, I was real friendly back at 6,000. We had all these buys as well. Bitcoin USD chart did go to a sell on our software. Bitcoin USDT didn't. And as you know, that sell-off happened really quick, went through stops, etc. So yeah, I got hurt on that. It's hard to cry about spilt milk. I mean, I came back in, kept working on the software, have given all buys on the way up with no sells. So I don't think there's many people that have given buys all the way up this year with no sells and just basically keep adding on, etc. So thanks, Dolphin. I mean, you're calling rally since forever. At some point, you will be all right. Yeah. I mean, all it is there's a lot of people butthurt by being short, miss the rally, etc. That's why we had to break to 3,100. We had to wash everybody out. Everybody knows, other YouTube channels, Twitter, everybody was bearish down there. Everybody said it. 3,900, we wouldn't get 4,000, 4,200. So we've left everybody behind quickly. There's new highs Bitcoin. I called all that. I said everybody get left behind. So anybody that really invests, really understands investing, is still a client of mine and still is on board. So I'm too bullish the space in general, because again, my normal client is not invested in this. Any client I have in cryptos is new people from YouTube, Twitter, etc. My average client doesn't want to go to Coinbase. They want me to do it for them, which I can't do, won't do. They just won't do it. So, and Borgil at 6,000. Everybody knows this. On that video, I went in for an hour and 15 minutes. It looked like to me we were going to explode higher. So, like I said, the bear market was tough. I'll take all my credit now because I've called this thing spot on. Nick and I's been all over this thing. Software is called every move in Bitcoin and Litecoin and other coins. So, and it will continue, I'm sure. I said this before, 2 years ago when Matt and I started, that I thought because of the new space, new investors, emotional investors, that trading it would be easier. So that's still where I'm at on that. And yeah, there's going to be huge corrections here. That's even at 6,000. I didn't want to be calling the top if we turned down, but everything just looked too good there. And my God, I just gave a buy at 69.40. Yesterday morning? I don't know when it was. Hours ago. So we're 1,000 up from there. So everybody can keep watching. Shorts are still, same thing. Shorts are not giving up. I can't say that on the technometer. I'll load that again here. The problem is, again, guys, the technometer is kind of like an RSI, except better. In a trading range, it'll vary between 38 and 50. In a runaway bull market, you don't want to sell a 50. So even if I said everything was at a 50, I don't think that means you want to sell it. So that's when I think you bring in maybe a little bit of Elliott wave. You bring in where the shorts and longs are setting, etc. And the other thing is, we're going to explain this because this is the best sell point. Volume has been coming down and price doesn't. So that means somebody is buying and supporting the price. So on the upside here, the best thing would be is volume finally comes in, which would be shorts covering en masse or longs clamoring to get long. And then price starts to slow up or make lower highs. That would tell you something is amiss and that we're ending probably some type of fifth wave. Hopefully we get that, but these markets move so damn quick, I don't know if we will. But that's what I'd be on the lookout for when I go to the 5-minute chart. I'd be on the lookout for that, where having volume coming in, price isn't. Because the charts I just showed, that's not happening. Volume has not came in. And that's why I don't get any sell signals. When you look at Bitcoin USDT, this is a monthly chart, but this is all selling while price ignites. So that's what's giving us buy signals on the technometer and no sell signals. So I have no sell signals here because I haven't gotten one. Which is, proudly you would say that in a bull market. Thanks, Andy123 for the subscribe. So that's why, people will say, well, where's your sells? Well, I haven't had anything, thank God. I'm still long. And gave you more ad points. So, but now again, for anybody that just walking in here, we got 477 people. If you break this down, this is a count I've been showing. I got to keep changing this a little bit. But somewhere here, we're going to finish this first wave up, and then we're probably going to have a pretty big sell-off. Again, those are estimates by Elliott Wave. So Elliott Wave is helpful, but if Fidelity, BAT, and everybody's coming, hell, we might run to 14,000 before we have a pullback. I don't know. All I can do is give her a roadmap, look at my indicators that I've used for years. I've been doing this 40 years, so the same indicators on stocks, we've tried to move it over to the cryptos. But if we look into this from the roadmap I've been giving, look at the 15-minute, I gave the buy at 69.40 yesterday because of this ABC, whether it was this four or this four. And then really we need 5 waves up to complete the first one. So this doesn't look like 5 waves. I'd hate to see 7,300 give away now for this count. I show this overlapping because wave 3 was so strong. Maybe wave 5 won't be. But shit, it could be just as strong. So we could expand way higher. So the only thing you really do is look for 5 waves up, call it the 1, then look for a 0.382 pullback probably. And then see if I get a buy signal on our software. Just like now, the software, hold on 1 second, guys. Hey, Jerry, I'm live again, so can I call you back? Probably like 20, 30 more minutes. Or just call me. All right, bye. So, I mean, there's Bitcoin USDT. Technometer is 44 neutral. I mean, shit, not overbought at all. Again, because no volume coming in. Yes, I'm still long. I mean, so if you look at this, I mean, we have to have a lot still further rally coming. And Bitcoin USD, like I said, it is overbought. This chart did give us a sell before we had the last break of 6,000 last year. So you got to be a little bit careful of not giving this some credit. Let's see if the OP will load down here in the technometer. Okay, we're at 51 on the technometer. So again, that is overbought levels. So again, I want to be careful here. I mean, I'd definitely be tough to be adding on here. And with the USDT still at 44, then I think there's still more upside. So it's getting long in the tooth. But that goes back to that we're in a 5th wave here. So we're getting along in the tooth, but we probably still got higher to go, which fits into the Elliott wave count. But if you bought 69.40 yesterday on my recommendation, I mean, it doesn't hurt to take a little off here, ring the cash register, etc. We could have a $300 break when you're not looking. So again, Ethereum, these things just won't go. There, Ethereum did a 207 back to 200. So Litecoin did what, a 90 over 93, and then goes to 90 in a second. So I don't know whether these things, again, these things maybe just hitting resistance here, and they're going to chew through that and explode. With Bitcoin going above 8,000 would be the best setup. I don't really have a correction being called for now. I would guess a little higher. And this could be 1, 2, 3. That could have been a 4 or 5. But now you're just guessing on these, 3 and 5 and 10-minute charts. It looks like a little higher, maybe spike above 8,000, and I would guess maybe 8,000 to 7,600 for a little while, and then maybe dig in and go higher. So I'm not going to have any buy signals up here. I mean, you would think we're going to get close to a sell at some point. Go back and change this to a 5-minute chart with price and volume. Let that load. See, I don't know where you're thinking a double top. I mean, on a 3-minute chart, that could have been a minor little 3-minute little sideways here before we spike higher, possibly. Too short a time frame. And we're in a bull trend, so everybody continue to try to pick tops. I think so. Kind of missing what's going on here. We'll try to pick a top when, again, when volume leads and price doesn't follow. Price going up with volume not following can be an issue, but it's not as good as having price not following volume up. That means somebody's selling into the up volume. Yeah, people are on too small of time frames trying to figure out charts and Wyckoff and Elliott Wave. There's no way. On Elliott Wave, I would say you should, at smallest, you should be on the 1 hour. Elliott Wave has always been on 1 hourly time frames by Bob Prechter. So that's what I'd be looking at. And probably stay on a 1 hour, even on Bitcoin. I look at the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and I will go down to the 5 minute if I'm trying to implement a trade to get the best point to do it. I mean, there is, that's just a 1 day chart. Go to the 1 month. Shout out to the 600 people in here. I got to keep saying this, guys. I got to blow my own horn because I think that's the only way you can make money is using the Wyckoff method. So at wyckoffsmi.com, I got some of my past history. Every real money trading competition I ever got in is listed there. I think there's 6, 7, 8 of them. Wyckoff works. A lot of 5-minute price volume. That's what this is. We gave buy signals down here. The 5250 level was really the last good one. And then here, this showed an ABC pullback while price held. This is when we did the 6,000 broadcast on YouTube where I thought we was going to ignite. Technometer game came to 40. It just looked like we'd done a 1-2 and was going to head higher. So their volume, everything looks good there. Everything's moving in lockstep. So there's nothing bearish about that except, yeah, the technometer is a little bit overbought. But then if you go to Bitcoin USDT, appreciate that, Nate. I paid $1,700 for the course in 1982. The Learn Crypto at $300, I'm guessing, is about, it's definitely 60%, 70% of probably the original course. So a ton of value there. I lowered the price on everything when I took over Wyckoff 3 years ago because I wanted to build the community. When I say Wyckoff, Joshua, yeah, the OP Force and Tech was always started with the Wyckoff Stock Market Institute, taking 5-minute data, etc. So yeah, those are all proprietary indicators. You're not going to find them anywhere else. And then we try to move that over to the cryptos. Now again, here on 6,900 yesterday, we had this huge down volume coming in while price really looked like it had done an ABC by Elliott Wave standards. So that's what turned me bullish to 6,900. And my roadmap still showed higher. So I tried to show that. I mean, really, this was a short-term buy here at 6,000. That was a 5250 buy that I gave. And this was just really weird because huge selling coming in while price held basically, 68, 6,900. And then we get another explosion higher. So somewhere here we're going to top out, go into violent sideways correction, I'm sure. So, and like I said, this rally, as you know, is getting long in the tooth. And now with the back coming, Fidelity and all this other onboarding, I don't know. I mean, People will chase these things. Appreciate it, Josh, for the subscribe. There's BTT USD, TUSD. Let's go to the 4 hour. Not a lot of info there. I wouldn't want to overlap that 67.80 level if I was long, probably short term. That's about all I can say about BTT. Yeah, there's going to be some FOMO in here. I mean, going back to the original chart on Bitcoin, I mean, you can see that longs are starting to come in, but I think there's more to come. Shorts are still, there's still shorts out there. I don't think I'd FOMO in now. I mean, I would think there's going to be some type of pullback. But again, you're talking to a guy that's major bullish. So the problem is, if you're setting not invested, I mean, damn, it's not a comfortable position to be in. Appreciate it, James. And I don't want to keep harping, but again, I don't see anything on our software. You know, at some point, new highs here with volume not doing it is a problem, but it still looks like there's so much selling that that's not an issue yet. I think Bitcoin USD still is moving in lockstep, so there's no sell divergences coming in. So there's nothing glaring at me telling me that we got any trouble. No doubt, Elizabeth. Shit. You're welcome, Josh. I mean, yes, it was pretty tough down there at the market lows. I mean, I've got a few more gray hairs and thinning because it was no fun. It's not been fun even on the way back because people wanted to short it, people wanted to set in cash, etc. So yeah, I think the 1 minute chart would be a little too zoomed in. So with no real issues on anything, I think you got to go back. I've been showing all along. It still just looks like we work higher. Now it's getting so congested. Appreciate it, Royal Ververt, for the subscribe. I do think in the red there's going to be an ABC correction somewhere here. The higher we rally, the probably higher support is on the correction. I'm guessing. Again, if we kind of try to zoom in so we can talk about what's going on right now. You know, two different ways to count this. If the green 4 actually ended over here, then we could top out here, which I still would think above 8,000, then have a pretty nasty ABC. If this counts correct, then the wave 2 probably wouldn't be too nasty. Maybe 7,600 or 7,500 or something. And then still new highs. So again, guys, it's getting way tougher up here. So If we end up doing the ABC correction, if that's what you're asking, I mean, if we have that ABC correction, that would be a big 1-2. So the 3,100 is the way forward. We go to 20,000 plus. This would be a 1-2. Then you'd be ready for an explosion higher to whatever, 16, 17, 18,000. What's up, Jason? I mean, that's a 1-2, which would be basically on a shorter time frame would be this 1-2 here. We then would start another huge wave 3 up. So, and again, everybody wants to know what's going on with the alts. I don't really have that answer. I was hoping as we put this fifth wave in on Bitcoin that someone would act better, especially Ethereum, Litecoin, Neo, some of the top 10. We're just not getting it. Bitcoin dominance has been so dominant, it's just hurting these other coins. The Bitcoin's normally my biggest positions with Ethereum and Litecoin. I pretty well tried to stay more of the top coins, and they're easier to trade if need be. I got a lot of people asking about PCG again. I mean, even this year I've traded almost none because I didn't want to miss the rally, which now, that looked suspect to be saying that before the last week's rally. But now you're understanding why I'd said that. Again, because I was so bullish. So I'm sure that wave 2 will be pretty violent. There'll be all the people saying we're going to 1,800 and below 3,000. So I would guess somewhere here, yeah, it's going to be violent. And I don't know. Again, guys, that's if the Elliott wave. I mean, if Elliott wave worked that easily, we'd all be rich. So I think you got to step back and be like, damn, what happens when BAT goes live? What happens when Fidelity lets institutions come in? What happens if hedge funds decide to roll into the space because they want to add it to their portfolio mix? I mean, so who knows what the upside is then? That's why, trading is fun. Trying to call a top, call a low, that's all exciting. But damn, if you miss a big rally, I don't know if we're going to 100,000 Bitcoin. If that happens, this channel will be popping. Everything will be popping, but I don't know. I think institutions were buying over the counter down there at below 6,000. I think they showed you that when they blew through 5,800 like it was nothing. Everybody that wanted to sell sold. We talked about that. I said there'd be no selling on the way back up because everybody already sold. I've been preaching that because I thought they picked up everything on the over the counter that they wanted. And their time horizons are larger. They're not worried about the next hour, next day, next week, or month. So I think now they're flexing their muscles on that. Even the bad news here on the way up didn't affect anything, which I've talked about as well. So it just looks like Bitcoin's under-owned. Throw it in the mix of a normal investment portfolio. It basically decreases risk, increases return. So it's easy to people to add 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5% to a portfolio. What's up, Corey? Get no work done. So that's about all I got. 202 Ethereum, 92, everything staying firm, 78.20. ADA up 8%. We did talk about this in the Discord. LPS came in the same exact area as preliminary support. So we was friendly down there at 6 cents. We're up to 0.076. Well, this one rock and roll higher, not sure. That's a nice head and shoulders bottom. Again, don't know how these things are going to act when Bitcoin tops out. So that's all I got. Again, Nick and I don't think we're going live at 6:30 because he's busy. Any big action, if I can, I'll jump on here again. And I'll keep you posted if I get anything different. So that's all I got. Shout out to the 580 people watching. Go to wyckoffsmi.com. We got a ton of stuff there for free. LearnCrypto.io, more crypto orientated. Follow my Twitter, Wyckoff on Crypto, or Stunner D. Hit that like button. I appreciate any retweets or any follows on Twitter. Really trying to increase my Twitter following. So I appreciate any help from everybody. So I'm out of here. We're going to do the outro on who is Wyckoff for everybody that doesn't know.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard D. Wyckoff. Anyone who is interested in the stock, option, or commodity markets is most likely to find my life and teachings to be of great interest and value. I was born November 2nd, 1873. At the age of 15, I had my first job as a stockbroker on Wall Street, and by age 25, I had opened my first brokerage firm. I was one of the pioneers in the study of the tape and included volume studies in all my market operations. This volume and its intraday studies is what set me apart from the rest of the market gurus. There was a point that my buy-and-sell volume was so big that it became a powerful part of the daily market. It was at this time that I became known as one of the titans of technical analysis. But all along, my lifelong endeavor was to pass on my accumulated wisdom to others. With that in mind, in 1907, I created the Magazine of Wall Street. At its height, the Magazine of Wall Street had over 200,000 subscribers. That's over 200,000 investors who wanted my thoughts on the current market conditions and trends. Finally, in 1931, I decided to take all my knowledge that I had learned about the stock market and create the Richard D. Wyckoff course of stock market science and technique. I was able to create something that established a new standard of practice in the public stock market operations. I did not claim any monopoly of stock market knowledge, but up to that time, no one else seemed willing to be so frank in offering to the public the most intimate knowledge of the inner workings of the stock market. The good news is that even though I created the Wyckoff stock market course back in 1931, the course has been maintained and updated throughout the years and is available to you today. Over 90 years later, my course is still available for investors and traders that want to learn the secrets to the stock market and can be found right now at wyckoffsmi.com.